Hi sweeties, you are welcome back. In this tutorial today, I would like to teach you how to cut and sew this beautiful cow neck top showing on the screen. Here is the fabric I'm making use of. I have 1 yard and 4 inches of fabric here, but the length is 60 inches. This is the basic bodice pattern that I'm going to use to cut my top out. I have a video on how to draft it. I'm going to put the link in the box below for you guys to watch and understand. So I'm starting my cutting from the back part. Since the top I'm making today is cow neck, I'm not adding zipper to it. If you want a zipper, you just cut it out like this, but I'm going to show you how to cut it without zipper. So I'm going to fold my zipper allowance in before folding my fabric. So after folding my zipper allowance in, I'm going to fold my fabric into two, place it on it and cut it. I'm done folding my fabric into two. As you can see, here's the right side and this is the wrong side of it. So I'm going to place my back on it like this after folding in my zipper allowance. So here's my center back now. I'm going to place it and pin it down to avoid it from shaking. I'm done pinning my pattern paper down to my fabric. So what I'm going to do now is to add 1 inch ease allowance on my chest line here. So I'm going to connect it straight down to meet my hip line here. So this is just it. Since the top I'm making is not having zipper, so I'm going to add 1/2 inch seam allowance to my armhole line, just like this, to my shoulder line, and to my neckline. At the bottom here too, I'm going to add 1 inch hemming allowance, just like this. So I have added 1 inch ease allowance to my chest line here, connected it to my hip line. I added 1 inch hemming allowance at the bottom here. I added 1/2 inch at my armhole line, armhole area here, my shoulder area and my neck line. But I'm going to make my neckline wider by 1/2 inch. You know, I have 3 inches, which is the standard measurement on my pattern paper. If you watch my video on how to draft basic bodies, you will understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to cut it out now. So I'm going to remove my paper now. Remember, there is no zipper, so I'm not going to slit my back part, my center back. So I'll just remove my paper. You know, like I said, I want to let my neck wider by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to measure 1/2 inch and reconnect my neckline. I'm going to cut it. So that's just it for the back part. I'm moving on to the front part. I'm going to fold my fabric as well into two, place my pattern on it, and I'm going to show you how to cut it to form that cow neck top, cow neck line we are talking about. I've folded another fabric for the front part. Before I place my pattern on it, I'm going to split my chest line here to form my cow neck that I'm talking about. So I'm going to split it into two. Just like this, as you can see. So this is my fabric now. I've folded it into two. Here is the right side and here is the wrong side of it. So I'm going to fold it again. So this one will serve as my facing for the front part. The folding here will serve as my facing for the front part, and I have 7 6.5 inches folded for the facing for the front part. So I'll go ahead and place my pattern on it like this. I'm going to place my front pattern on it like this and spread out my this upper part. I'm going to spread it out like this. I'm spreading it out by 6 inches. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm going to spread it out by 6 inches. This is just it now. This is 6 inches. So I'm going to trace it out and cut. So on my chest line here, I'm going to add 1 inch ease like I did on the back part, connect it to my hip line and add 1 inch hem allowance to the bottom part, ½ inch sewing allowance to the armhole area, shoulder area. That's all, and I'm going to cut it out. Let me use spoon to hold it down before I trace all that to avoid it from shaking. Now I'm done pinning down my pattern paper on my fabric and I've traced it out, as you can see. So what I'll just do now is to cut it out. I added 1 inch on the chest line here, connected it to my hip line. I did not add any ease to my 1 inch ease on my chest line, but I did not add any ease to my hip line because I'm going to give it a slit at the end of the day. I added 1 inch for hemming allowance at the bottom here, ½ inch sewing allowance on my armhole line and the shoulder line here. So I'm going to cut it out now. I'm going to remove my pin now. For me to put my pattern aside, just like this. So after cutting out my front part, this is what I have. So a little adjustment I did on the back part, on the neckline of my back part. You know, I added ½ inch to my neckline to make it wider than the one on my pattern paper. So I'm going to measure my shoulder now for me to get accurate measurement for the front part. So I have here 5 inches. So I'm going to measure 5 inches here as well to make it accurate. So this is where the 5 inches is now. So I'm going to reconnect it and cut it out. This is where my 5 inches is. So I'm going to reconnect like this and trim the excess out just to make it accurate. So that's just it. I'm going to trim here too to make it straight. I mean the facing for the front part. Now I cut it together with the main body. Now this is what I have for the front part and this is my back part. You know, I've already cut my facing together with the front part. I'm going to cut facing for the back part as well. Fold the fabric for that. So this is the fabric for my facing, for my back facing. I folded it into 2, as you can see. So I'm going to place my back on it like this and cut it out. If you're a beginner, you can trace it out before cutting. So the length of my facing for the back part is 5.5 inches. I mean 6 inches. 6 inches. So I'm going to cut it out now. The neckline. And my armhole. So that's just it. Let's move on to the sewing aspect. The facing for my back part, I'm going to hem the bottom of my facing with ½ inch. I'm going to fold it once and hem. So after hemming the facing, I'm going to open up my back part like this. Here is the right side of my back part. what I'll just do is to let the right side of the facing face the right side of the main body, just like this. Set it, let it align on the neckline and stitch with 1/2 inch on the neckline after hemming the bottom of my facing. So here is the front part. You know, I've already cut together my facing for the front part. So after stitching my back facing, I'll come and show you how to join it together. Now I'm done stitching my facing to the back part. As you can see, I hemmed my facing with 1/2 inch and I stitch it on the neckline with 1/2 inch as well. I'll go ahead and notch my neckline with 1/4 of an inch. Do not let the notching touch the sewing, please. I'm going to notch it little by little. After notching, I'm going to open it up like this and give it a good press. After pressing, I'm going to join the 2 shoulders. Here's my front part. This is my front part. I'll just open it up like this, turn it to the right side and fold my facing in like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So here's the right side of my front part now. You can see. So after giving my back facing good press, I'll just place it on each other. Assuming I've given my facing a good press, I'll just fold my facing in and let the right side of the back face the right side of the front like this. I'm going to let the right side of the front face the right side of the back, just like this. After giving my back facing a good press, so I'll let the face it like this and join the 2 shoulders. Here's my front shoulder. I'm going to put it inside the back shoulder. I'm going to open up my back shoulder and the facing like this. Put my front shoulder in between it like this. Fold it in and stitch with 1/2 inch. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me use the other side to explain for you guys to understand. So this is my front shoulder now, and this is my back shoulder. I'll just open up my back shoulder like this, my back shoulder and the facing like this. Put my front shoulder in between it like this. Let it align at the middle and place it like this. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch with 1/2 inch. I'm doing the same thing on the second part of it. After joining the 2 shoulders, I'm going to join the side as well with 1/2 inch. Remember, I forgot to add sewing allowance while cutting, but since I added ease allowance to it, it will serve me. But please do not forget to add your sewing allowance while cutting your own. So I'm going to stitch my side with 1/2 inch on both sides. And leave a little slit from the bottom here, from the hemline here. I'm going to leave a little slit like 4 inches. So I'm going to hem my bottom with 1 inch plus that 4 inches. That will make it 5 inches. So while stitching my side seam, I'm going to measure 5 inches upward for my side slit. So I'm doing the same thing on the second part. So I'm going to stitch from the armpit here till I reach this point on both sides. So let me explain how to join the shoulder once again for you guys to understand. So here's my back part. You know, I said I'm going to flip my back facing in like this and give it a good press. After giving it a good press, I'm going to place my front part on it. Let the right side face each other. So this is the right side of my front. I'll just place it like this. So I'm going to open up my facing, my back facing and the main body like this. You know, this is my shoulder. So I'm going to put my front in between the facing and the main body, just like this. Fold it like this and stitch with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second shoulder. So after all that, I'll come and show you what's next. Now I'm done hemming the 2 shoulders. As you can see, And don't forget to hem the bottom of the front facing. So I'll go ahead and hem the bottom of my front facing with 1/2 inch like I did on the back part. So, and I've stitched both sides as well. I left 5 inches opening on both sides here. So what I'm going to do now is to just turn it to the right side and hem both sides to make it neat. The slit I left on both sides, I'm going to hem it, double fold it, hem it from here till I reach the second part. I'm doing the same thing on the second side. So after hemming both sides, I'm going to hem the bottom of my top as well with 1 inch that I added for my hemming allowance. So after all that, I'm going to attach my desired sleeve and give it a good press, put it on for you guys to see the finishing look of it. So guys, here is the finishing look of this lovely top. If my tutorial has been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Details to Sewing, created by Akorede Adenike. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Akorede Adenike. Please show some love by liking and following my page on Facebook at Akorede Adenike Sewing Tutorial. Till I see you in my next video, guys, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.